Hello, Bob Ullman here, Nashua, New Hampshire, July 27th, 2013. And today I am going, and by the way, it's a beautiful day here in New Hampshire. I am going today to talk about how when we are, because we've been all week. I've been talking about the law of attraction. Then we talked about finding our burning desire. You're welcome to check out some of my previous videos, and they're on my website, bobullman.com, bobullman.info, and that's Bobullman. And I usually have the link somewhere inside these. But you know, the thing is that today we're going to one of the things in pursuing our dreams and pursuing our goals. Once we know where we're going, obviously that's real important to be able to go in the right direction. I mean, it's kind of like you go into a car, you have no idea where you're going. You're never going to get there because you don't even know where you're going. So we got to know where we're going, and that's with having the goals, having a burning desire, as Napoleon Hill refers to, a chief aim. I like that. I like burning desire the best of all because it should be burning inside you. Now, once we know what we're going to do, and there are steps. Sometimes there are steps along the way. We have to, we go to A to get to B. We go to B. We go to C. We go to C. We go to D, and so forth. We refer to that in our organization, in the GIN organization. Kevin refers to that as he says, "Go as far as you can see, and then you'll see further." So always go as far as you can see, and then you'll see further. And that's the way it works. Now, as far as sometimes people get really caught up, and here's something that can sometimes get in the way. We get caught up in in the how. How are we going to do this? How are we going to achieve that? Gee, it seems so far away, our goal, or it seems so how. And the fact is, we have to let go of the how. Okay, the how will materialize. If we have the burning desire, if we have the goal, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out along the way. That's just part of the way our minds work. When we get caught up in the how, well, how's that going to happen? How's that? Well, what about this? What about that? All that kind of stuff. We get caught up in that. That creates worry, because then we start doubting, because we start thinking of all the things that we're really starting to use the law of attraction the wrong way. We start thinking of all the things that can go wrong, and then we're likely to experience feelings that match that. The universe will give us more things that go wrong. So that's why we have to let go of that. When I started doing that, and this was a couple years ago when I really started letting go of the how. My first trip to Florida, at that point, I had gone on a cruise. It was one of the GIN cruises. It was wonderful. And they do in GIN, they give you a free cruise when you join. So if you ever join GIN, you're going to get a free cruise, and you'll probably see me and some of my friends on the cruise, and we certainly would love to have you. But the fact is that I get back, and at that particular time, it was in the winter. It was January. I knew I wanted to stay in Florida. I didn't know exactly how everything was going to work out. I just knew it would work out, and it worked out perfectly fine. And I went to the airport, and I was actually on my way to go back, and I said, well, just not going to go. I managed to get a credit for my ticket through whatever it was, and I said, yeah, I'm not going to go home. I was going to go home and drive back down. I said, well, I'm here already. I'll just stay. And I ended up staying a month and a half. Now, that's the kind of thing that I hadn't done really for a long time, that type of, I knew that I wanted to do that, but, don't we all do things like that when we're young? When I was younger, I had a couple things. I was thinking of them the other day, the time I went to the Woodstock Festival. Well, I didn't know how I was going to get there. I was about, 18, 19 years old. Woodstock is going on in New York. Honestly, I had gone through this crazy hippie thing. I didn't have any money at that particular time. I literally was broke. I was 60 miles away from it. I was in New York City. Now, it's very hard if you know New York City, hitchhiking in New York City. Who does that? Nobody picks anybody up there. But I didn't care. I wanted to get there. I didn't have any ticket. I didn't have any money, and I knew it was 3 days. I took my guitar with me, and I just got out there. And I don't know. I maybe took a bus or something. I must have had a buck or two, whatever it was. I had believe me, very little. I somehow got to the George Washington Bridge. I managed to get a ride or walked over the bridge and started in New Jersey. No, in fact, get mixed up about that. This was going upstate New York, so it had nothing to do with the George Washington Bridge. That was another trip. I did that once too, by the way. But in this case, no, this was going upstate New York, about 60 miles. I don't even know how the heck I got up there. All I know is I had my thumb out. I got some rides. Maybe there were other people going there. It was maybe one ride, two rides. I don't remember exactly. Next thing I know, I'm there. I have no idea how we're going to get in. But the next thing I know, they take all the fences down. They just let everybody in. And then, I had no idea how I was going to eat. But people were very nice and sharing. And, everybody was very friendly. And it was just a real fun 3-day thing. And the music was great. Of course, it was legendary. People like Jimi Hendrix, 10 years after, and so forth. It was a legendary performance. It was a great time. I had no idea how it was going to work out, but it worked out. Now, we do things like that when we're younger, and I was even getting a little older to do stuff like that, but I was still doing it, And then I guess I kind of went through a whole period where I try to plan life more and, get all of this. But I lost a little. Somewhere along the line, I lost a little of that, that enthusiasm, that just knowing that things would work out. I got back to that in the last couple of years. That's one of the reasons I think I feel younger all the time. And I talk about this a lot at 64. I feel like I've reversed the aging. I think it's because of really what's going on in my mind. I mean, I'm thinking like a young person. Sometimes like a really young person. It's kind of like, hey, whatever I can think of, whatever. What I've learned is I can be, do, and have anything I want in life. It really does work that way. I'm practicing it. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying every day. Every day is a gift. It's always going to be that way. I know that I have some plans, some future things. I know what I'm doing. Everything is turning out. I do not worry about the how anymore. I think about what I want to do, and I concentrate on that. I think about it. I visualize. I do a lot of visualization. I do some auto suggestion, talking. Even talking to myself. That's fine. I do a lot of talking to myself these days, what happens is, as I keep on visualizing, everything happens. I figure out the stuff to do along the way. The actions take care of themselves. We say it's 99% mindset, 1% action. In terms of the thought process, obviously you may have to do actions more than 1% of the time, but the actions become a joy. They're never hard. It's like doing this right now. This is an action. This isn't hard. This is fun. I like this. I'm having fun right now. I just finished, playing my guitar. You might have saw the other day. You might have seen I did some guitar playing. I'll throw some in occasionally into these. But the fact is that that's the way it works. So stop worrying about the how. Start just figure out what the heck it is you want to do in life. What's your major definite purpose? I talked a little about how to do that in the last video. Making lists, narrowing it down, things like that. Get that figured out. Read. Certainly continue reading great books, and then don't worry about how you're going to get there. Just know that you're getting there. It really is all about the journey. That's the whole thing, and you'll get there. The how will that will get figured out along the way. Never worry about that. That's what throws, I think, some people off. So anyway, that's the point for today. Today's a Saturday. It's a great day. Have a wonderful day. I'm going to listen to some music today. One of my favorite guitar players is coming up to the area. I'm going to listen to him today. Okay, later tonight. So anyway, you take care. Have fun. Bye-bye now.